think I'm live. Give it just a second here. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I want to welcome our new members again and remind everybody that for the list of all the scheduled lives that I'm going to work for the entire next few weeks, you're going to click on announcements. If you want to know where to access and the instructions on how to get to all of the past recordings from Facebook Lives I've done in here, there are way over 50 hours of them. Click on announcements and it'll tell you where to find those. And if you know someone who would enjoy this group, please send them this direction. I would love to have more members. Do give them a heads up that they've got to answer the privacy questions and the disclaimer thing. But other than that, yeah, I think this is a great fun group for lots of people to be in. The more, the merrier. And I do want to also, oops, just a second here. Just getting a message there. So, oops, now I'm blurry. Come on, camera. There we go. Every once in a while, the camera just gets a little confused. While I wait for everybody to gather, and hi, Vicki, good to see you here. When you come in and are in the chat, I'm going to try to take newer people first. If you haven't tapped with me in here before or in the last few weeks, I'm going to try and take some new requests from people that are new to the group first, but I may certainly have time to get to all of the requests. I never know who's going to be on here or how many requests. So as you come in the chat, hello, Grace. It's so good to see you here. Hello, friend. Someone I know in real life. So Vicki and Grace, if you've got a tapping request today, please drop it in the chat, especially you, Grace. You've not tapped with me here before. You are first up. What can I help you with today, dear? And I was going to just tell everyone I'm going to post that video in the group again as soon as this is over. If you only do one thing for the next couple weeks to help yourself, you should be doing the new work that I created, Power Intentions, for letting go of feeling like you're not good enough. It's only actually a couple minutes worth of work. It's about a 5 or 6 minute video, but the actual work that you're going to sit and listen to, and that's all you're going to do, honestly, that's really what you want to do. If you don't do anything else, I mean, obviously tapping, yes, but do that work every day for 14 days. I think you're going to be impressed with the results. All right, so hello, Kim. All right, Grace, Vicki, Rita, and Kim. Go ahead and drop in the chat. And Kim is already, I know Kim, and she's already saying what she needs. So as soon as some others post some things in there, we can go have a look at that. Okay. Sad mixed with anxiety. All right. Since you were in here first, Grace, and you have not tapped with me before, I want you to take a breath in through your nose and blow it out. And close your eyes, Grace. And everybody do this with us. Okay. Now, Grace, I want you to, let me adjust my camera there. I want you to just kind of appreciate where sadness and anxiety are showing up in your body. Maybe your chest, your stomach, could be in your head. It kind of looks to me like for you it's your throat, but it could be somewhere else. First thing that comes to mind. And now, when you see that area in your body, ask it what it needs to feel better. It looks to me like this may be related to some tapping that I did last week. Okay. Now, Grace, if you would, tell that area of your body, that feeling of sadness with anxiety, that we're going to give it some help here in just a minute. And go ahead and take a breath and open your eyes. All right, now, Grace, I want you to drop in the chat before we do some tapping here. Let's get real specific. Do you have sadness and anxiety about stuff happening last week, or is this to do with family and loved ones? Let's get more specific with it, because the more specific we can get, the better we're going to feel. And hello, Irma. Irma's in here today, and she says, I think we need to tap for our country. I'm usually not that person who says things like that. Okay, that is not going to be useful, because our country is composed of individuals. And the main thing to do is to get yourself okay. Global tapping for big things like that are not really useful and don't work very well. And every practitioner out there that teaches this teaches it the same way. So it sounds like a good thing to do, but it's not useful. It wouldn't be a good use of time. Okay, family and loved ones. Okay. Grace, is this sadness over this? Because I don't have a feel for what this is. Is this sadness over someone who's died, or is it like general worry and anxiety? I'm having a little trouble getting, gosh, while I wait for Grace to put that in here, this is funny. You can see I've got this big bruise on my knuckle here, and I didn't know I had this. I opened a box of baking soda last night, and you're supposed to just push, and I pushed on it a couple times, and I couldn't get it to open, and I just went, which did work, but oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had this big bruise until I got on here. Okay, health concerns. All right, and problems. Okay, all right, everybody, let's do this for Grace and with Grace. I am worried and sad, both, about my family and my loved ones. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I am sad, and it's kind of making me anxious too. And it has to do with my family. I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to shifting out of this now, because I do completely love and accept myself. And I also love all the people that I may be sad and worried about. Oh, I'm worried about the health of other people. And I'm worried about the problems they're having. I may be worried, okay, I may be worried about my husband, who already has some health issues. But I give myself permission to understand that feeling anxious about these things a little bit is normal. But if I let it get too big, it keeps me from being my best in the world. And the same goes for other people's problems. Even though they're people that I know and love, everyone has their own challenges in life. I allow myself to understand that we all have our own challenges for reasons. And it's not up to me to fix stuff for anyone but me. It's not my job. I give myself permission to know that they need what they're getting from these hard things. It's not that I won't be compassionate, loving, and helpful, because I am. But I'm going to let go of my need to fix it, because I know I can't. And being sad over it and anxious keeps me from being my most helpful and useful person in the world. So I choose to let go of all this anxiety and sadness now. I allow myself to remember that there's joy to be had in every single day, because I do completely love and accept myself. And I'm glad to be here. Peace. Okay, Grace, drop in the chat and let us know how that landed for you. I would also, when we start feeling attachment and worried about other people, sometimes the thing to focus on, especially with health issues, is to sit down and make a gratitude list. That can be almost more useful than anything. I know for me, and I've recommended this to others, make a list of 10 things that you're grateful for right now today. Because today is what we've got. It really is. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We're not meant to know that, for us or anybody else. Live for today. Be grateful. And let us know how that landed in the chat. All right, and next up. Okay, Kim says heartburn and gallbladder pain. Okay. These are two different things. Heartburn, we're going to need to pick one, because heartburn does not equal gallbladder pain, or vice versa. And heartburn is usually indigestion. I have a good video for that you might want to do. It has to do with taking in and assimilating new ideas and information. If we feel like we can't swallow that, a lot of times we get indigestion. And these may even be new ideas about relationships, about yourself. It can be anything along those lines. Gallbladder is something different. Gallbladder is bitterness. That is always what that is. So, yeah. I'm thinking here, okay. Kim, let's have you close your eyes and take a big breath. Everybody do this with us. Hold it and blow it out. Okay. Now, go and look at the area. Yeah, indigestion, okay, go look at that area of your body where you're feeling discomfort. Maybe your stomach, or it may be the side where your gallbladder is. It's up under there. And just gently and compassionately ask it, what's going on there? Really ask it. Use your imagination. First thing that comes to mind. What does it need? What does it want to feel better? Okay. Now tell it we're going to give it some help. And I want you to go ahead and open your eyes, take a breath, and let's quantify that. Okay, and Kim says, I think the pain is coming from the gallbladder. Okay, all right, so you looked at it, you looked in there. Give it a number between 0 and 10. with 10 being overwhelming pain and 0 being none. And I want you to give that pain that you've got right now, this minute, a number, because I think I know what this is. And also drop in the chat what you saw. What does it need to feel better? Okay, let me just scroll through here. Okay, Grace says, thank you, I do feel better. Good. Good for you. Good job, Grace. All right, and hello to Natalie. Okay, and Vicki has low back pain. Okay. Okay, so Kim, go ahead and give us a number and say, drop it in the chat. We need a number and to know what it wants, anger and then feeling fat. Okay. And that's actually not what I saw in there, but let's just start. Oh, what number are, okay, you don't need to stop, but let's put the before and after numbers. Just appreciate what your number is for pain right now, 0 to 10. We'll tap, and then you can put both in the chat. That works. I've got gallbladder pain, and it really hurts. And I think there may be some anger in there. But I choose to be okay anyway, because I completely love and accept myself. And I do love my gallbladder. I may have some anger stuck there, but I choose to be okay anyway, because I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to shifting this now. I've got pain and anger in my gallbladder. It's green and slimy. It thinks I feel fat. I feel fat. And because of that, there's some self-loathing going on. And because I've got self-loathing going on, it's causing pain. And it's making me not want to eat anything. I feel like maybe I need this indigestion to keep me from eating, because I've got anger and bitterness. I also feel like maybe I've wasted some of my life in some weird way. I wasted time. And now I'm just angry and bitter over the wasted time, the lost time that I can't get back. But I'm open to letting this go now. I allow myself to remember that time is actually a human construct, and that there is the distinct possibility that I am a powerful eternal being, and that for me there's no such thing as death. And I plan to live a lot longer in this body I'm in right now. I give myself permission to know It's never too late to create a new body. But first I have to change my mind about the way I feel about myself. Because my body is the reflection of my interior. I allow myself to love myself more. To let go of the bitterness and anger that I've got in my gallbladder so that it can better do its job to help metabolize and digest what I eat. I choose to take in thoughts and ideas and food and nourishment easily and effortlessly, and to know that these things are good for me. I don't need to feel upset about them. I allow my entire digestive system to relax because I love it, and I completely love and accept myself. Peace. Okay, now if you would, go ahead and gauge what your number was before, and then after tapping, let me know how that landed, and please put in the chat, Kim, if you would, let us know how that landed and if your number changed. And next up is I'm going to scroll here for just a second. Okay, I don't see. Okay, if you're on the chat and if you're watching the live, considering whether or not you want to ask in the chat for something, you can even ask me a question. It doesn't necessarily have to be tapping, but I would encourage you. I'm doing this for you. I'm here for you. Go ahead and ask. And I'm giving preference to the people who are new in the group that I haven't worked with before. All right, so I don't have, okay, it was low before. Okay, Kim says it was low before because it happened last night. Maybe a 3 and now it's a 1. Okay, that's good. That's more than double. Okay, and Kim says it really hit the mark and felt great. Good. Perfect. All right, so the only other request I've got in here well, I'll look at, Natalie's written something long. I'll come back to that in a minute. All right, Vicki, you are next up, and you have lower back pain. And I think for you, this is not something new. Now, I'm going to have you go in and look at that in a minute. And I want to just remind everybody who's watching this live or in replay, whether you're actually participating in this or not, you definitely want to participate by tapping along with every single one of these, because there will be something in this for you. You get a thing called borrowing benefits, which means that something that we tap about in here is going to help you in some completely unexpected and surprising way. You're going to clear something that you maybe didn't even know you were holding on to. And it works that way every single time. I love tapping in a group. It's a cool thing. All right, Vicki, so let's take a breath, hold it, and blow it out, and close your eyes. I want you to move into that area of your lower back. And just see how that looks. And make it easy. Use your imagination. I know some people say they have trouble with visualization. Just use your imagination. I know you've got a good one. And you won't be wrong. You are not making it up, because you are the one who lives in that body. So I want you to look at your lower back and just ask it, what's going on there? What's stuck there? And I'm kind of looking at this with you. Now, with lower back pain, it's usually two things. And just stay in the visualization, Vicki, if you would, because this may shift while I talk. The very first thing that I see in about 75% of the people who come to me with lower back pain is that it is a fear thing having to do with money. Has nothing to do with whether or not you can afford to pay your bills. I have worked with people who have literally tens of millions of dollars who had lower back pain because they had fears that they had developed, usually in childhood, around money and not having enough and losing it. Now, the other 25% of the time, it's going to be a hurtful relationship, which I kind of think is what you've got going on. It may be a combination of both those things, but expand your view of what relationship is. It's not, and people say, well, I get along fine with my husband or my wife. Well, yes, but it could be with a parent, with a sibling, with your employer, with a coworker. Expand your view of what relationship could be and really look at that area. And now I want you to ask it what it needs to feel better. And you may be seeing an event or a person there that gives you a real good clue to what we're looking for today. Okay. All right. Now I want you to take a breath and open your eyes. And if you would, drop in the chat what you saw there and what number you've got, your pain level. But let us know before we tap. I like people to do it and see the results as we go through these because it's really, really useful. All right, and while we wait for Vicki to put that in here, let's see. Okay, so while we're waiting for Vicki to drop that in the chat about lower back pain, Natalie says, hi Sharon, I've been doing really well with your videos and had stopped grinding my teeth. Good. And was feeling so much better, but it's come back again and I'm still tapping, and I did the video when tapping doesn't work, but can't seem to get back to that really good period where I wasn't grinding my teeth. Please, can you help? It does coincide with going back to work and the stress that has caused after a lovely Christmas break. Okay, well, you've got your answer right there. I mean, this has to do with going back to work and how you're handling that and how you feel about going back to work and how you're dealing with the stress. That is, I think we'll have some time here and we can tap a little bit about that, but that is completely what it is. You already just said what it was. So it's not that tapping isn't working. Sit down and maybe write about what you're feeling and get some idea about it. All right, Vicki, being crushed. Okay, the lower back says like it's being crushed beneath everything going on, not strong enough to support everything. Pain is a 5 and needs peace and support. Okay. All right, so this is Vicki for back pain, and she's at a 5 right now out of 10. All right, and she says a mix of money and relationship makes sense for her. Okay. Let me just tune in for a second here and see what we want to say about this. Okay, I think I have it. Get a drink here. I've got a lot of pain in my lower back, but I choose to be okay anyway, even though I've got all this lower back pain. I may have some money worry, may have some hurtful relationship stuff, but I choose to be okay anyway because I completely love and accept myself. Even though I've got all this pain in my lower back, I profoundly love and accept myself. And I love my back. And I'm open to taking a closer look at this now. What I need is peace and support. I wonder if it's possible that the one I most need support from is me. Because when I'm feeling unsupported, as I am right now, it has a whole lot more to do with my self-care practices or lack of them than it does with any current event. In fact, some scary, awful things did happen in the last week. And that made me stop caring about taking care of myself. But since the entire country, and in fact the entire world, is completely composed of individual humans who are all connected, if I want peace, then it's up to me to be peaceful. And I'm not feeling that right now. If I'm looking for support, it's up to me to support myself with love. I give myself permission to let go of this pain in my back. It's safe to let it go. I choose to fill my back with loving support. It's safe for me to support myself. It's safe for me to feel supported. I allow myself to be peaceful. I allow my lower back to be filled with peace. I allow all of me to be filled with peace and compassion for myself and others, because we all deserve it. I completely love and accept myself. And I love my lower back. It's a good back. Peace. Okay. I hope that what I was seeing and appreciating there landed for you. Let us know, drop it in the chat. Vicki, if you would, let us know how that landed and what your number was before and what it is now after we did a couple minutes worth of tapping. Okay. All right, while we wait for her to put that in the chat. Okay, so Natalie had stopped grinding her teeth and was feeling great again, feeling lots better after having done some of my videos, which is good. That's what they're made for. And then she went back to work after Christmas break, and now she's got it back again. So what this is stress over having gone back to work. And you clearly identified it. I mean, you wrote exactly what it is. People usually do know what their stuff is. So let me see if I can get in touch with what this is, what it wants, without having you look. Because I've got a little time here. Give me just a second here. Okay. Let's just try this and see. And you can let me know how this lands. Let's just, everybody tap along here. This one's for Natalie. I've got all this stress and tension in my mouth again. I was doing so well. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I've got all this stress and tension in my mouth and my teeth. I was getting better and now it's back. But I completely love and accept myself. And I love my mouth and my teeth. And I honor all the reasons that this pain is showing up to teach me. Because I completely love and accept myself. I was getting along fine as long as I wasn't working. I was at home over Christmas break, doing lots of tapping, and everything was good. But then I went back to work. And then everything just fell apart. I wonder if it's possible that I could continue to do my work and enjoy my work, but let go of the stress around it. I wonder if I could do it because I enjoy it, because I do like what I do for a living. I wonder if I could let go of the need to push myself so hard. Because that's making me grind my teeth. I give myself permission to look at what part of working is causing me to feel stress. Is it that I miss being away from home and feel like I should be there instead? Is it that I feel like I'm not good enough at my work? I allow myself to get some real clarity on why I feel stressed about going back to work, to the extent that it's giving me pain again. Because I understand it's important for me to listen to pain. And I choose to hear it clearly now. I allow myself to get really clear on exactly what I'm feeling. And what I'm feeling isn't pain. Pain is the symptom. Emotions are the cause. I allow myself to be safe feeling my emotions so that I can look at them clearly. Because I do completely love and accept myself. I'm grateful that I have emotions that I can help guide me. I completely love and accept myself. Peace. Okay. All right, Natalie, go ahead and drop in the chat. Let everybody know how that landed. And let me see what I've got here. All right, and Vicky for lower back. She said she feels much more calm and more focused on her promise to make this year the year of self-care, which I didn't do, which I did fall out of this past week. Okay, that's kind of what it looked like to me. I thought you kind of were hanging in there with it. And, last week derailed a lot of people. It even, Wednesday even threw me off. All I was doing was just, I would work for a while and then I would go watch the news some more. But I know when things like that are happening, I understand to up my self-care rather than neglect it. Your instinct to just sit and watch the news and engage and be upset, turn loose of that. All right, and Vicky, whose number was a 5 before, the number is now a 2. Okay, that's about a 60% drop in pain level in just a couple minutes. So for those of you watching this who are going, well, gee, does this tapping stuff really work? It absolutely does. You are seeing the numbers change and drop for people in this live chat. Most of these are people I don't know that I've never met. I didn't know what anybody was going to ask before we got on here. So, yeah. All right. And we're waiting for Natalie to drop in the chat how that landed. And Irma says, pain in between shoulder blades. It's only a 3 right now, but it's one of those things that occurs often. Okay, this will be the last tapping for today because I have a client at the top of the hour. So Irma, let's go ahead and have a look at that. Shoulders, before we do that, shoulders, and this may be an upper back thing. When you've got upper back stuff, that's kind of wanting somebody to get off your back in some way. Or it could be to do with shoulders. Shoulders are feeling like you can't express yourself or like you're carrying a burden. So it's probably going to be one of those things for you. It may be a combination, but let's, yeah. So I think this really kind of looks to me like you want somebody to just shut up. I'm wondering if that's consistent with what you have going on. All right, Irma, take a breath in through your nose. Hold it and blow it out. And close your eyes. And just using your imagination, I want you to go look at where that hurts. That you have a 3 on a scale of 0 to 10, it's a 3. And just, okay, yeah. Just look at that area of your body and ask it what it needs to feel better. Just first thing that comes to mind, because it looks like, yeah, I think I've got a pretty clear idea of what this is. And Irma writes in, yes, I go through those, all of those from time to time. And yes, so yeah, I think that's a yes too. All right, tell that area between your shoulder blades. Gosh, I can even feel this. Blah. I don't think I want anybody to shut up, but okay. Tell it we're going to give it some help right now, and go ahead and take a breath and open your eyes. Okay. And just glancing at this, it looks like a man that you want to shut up or that you would like to tell to shut up. If it's a woman, I'll say he, feel free to say she instead, but it looks like a man thing. So let's tap. I've got this pain between my shoulder blades. And it's just a 3, but it keeps coming back. And I've got this pain, and I can't seem to get it to go away and stay away. But I'm open to listening to what it's saying now, because I do completely love and accept myself. And I love my upper back and shoulders too. They're good. They've been with me pretty much my whole life. I'm open to shifting my perspective on this now. Okay. I have some anger there. I really want to tell this person to just shut up. Okay, Irma, this is going to help more than anything. We're going to yell, which is useful. I just want you to shut the hell up. And I never feel like I can say that. I have all these reasons that I can't just say that. I give myself permission to know that I can't get irritated enough to change this person's mind or make them be quiet. I allow myself to know that my irritation is simply my response to whatever they're saying or doing. And I have forgotten that I have complete control over how I respond. I don't have the ability to make him shut up, but I do have the ability to not let it cause me pain. I am completely in charge of this. I let go of the need to control what anybody else says. No matter how annoying. And it's safe to let go of this pain between my shoulders. It's safe to express myself clearly as long as I'm speaking with compassion to myself and others, because I do completely love and accept myself. And I love my back and shoulders. Peace. Okay. Okay, and Irma, go ahead and drop in the chat. You started at a 3. How did that tapping land? And what's your pain level now? And that was the last tapping for the day. Natalie's put a long comment in here. We just tapped for her for mouth and tooth pain. And we'll have a look at that. She says, thank you, Sharon. Everything you said is exactly it, especially pushing myself so much all the time and constantly worrying I'm not good enough. Okay, I had pain around a 6. It spiked to a 9 on occasion, and now it's about a 5. But I realize I have a lot of complex feelings about my job that I need to work on. Yeah. They're actually not really feelings about your job, Natalie. I want you to think about your job, because I'm not going to say that in here, but I do know what you do for a living, and I think you're good at it and you enjoy your work. But think of that as a train. Your job is the train. And the cars of the train each carry something different. And you've got some stress and some feeling like you're not good enough and some feeling like you've got all these things in these cars on this train that is your job. And I want you to work on how you feel inside you. So that's, yeah. Journaling would be in order for you, I think. Good, but good for you. Good for you. Okay, and Irma said it stopped being painful. Right now it's numb, which is not how it usually feels. Okay, Irma had a pain between her shoulder blades in her upper back that was a 3, and now the pain is completely gone. She says it's numb. So that's good. Sometimes yelling when you tap is really, really useful. And Kim says, I had the exact pain in my back and it went from a 6 to a 2. Okay, great numbers here. Excellent work today, folks. Really good. And hi, Tony. Glad you could stop in for the tapping. Yeah, good. Okay, and now it's moved over to 0. That's from Irma again. Okay, good. Completely gone then. That's great. All right, everybody did good. And I'm going to say this again. I said this at first. Keep tapping. But I also want every single person doing my new power intentions work. And I'm going to drop that video back in the group again today. This is only a couple of minutes, and all you have to do is listen and allow. And it is for feeling like you're not good enough. There is nobody who doesn't need this work. This is truly groundbreaking work. I made it to help you. Do it every single day for at least 14 days. You are going to be unbelievably impressed with the results you get. I am getting feedback every day from people who are doing this, and it is incredible. So I'm going to post that in the group again. Do it every day. Feel better. Peace through unity for all of us. Yes. And I will see you again on Friday at 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your week. Love to all of you. Thanks for being here today.